If you want to know how to create best-selling listings on Etsy by having good title and tags, your SEO, then this is the video for you. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I come up with my title and my tags. I'm also going to be going over the new guidelines that Etsy came out with about a month ago on SEO and what I think about that and how you can implement it in your shop. If you're new around here, my name is Ariel and I am a Etsy print-on-demand seller. I have scaled my shop to 6 figures over the last almost 3 years that I have been selling on Etsy, and I share everything that I know with you guys on this channel. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so we're going to start with our title. And what I like to do is do some research on Etsy first. So we're going to assume that we're doing a Christmas Mama shirt. That is our design. It's just a generic, Christmas design and it says Mama. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Christmas Mama shirt and find some best-selling and popular now listings that looks similar or is in the same category as what I'm selling. So we're going to go ahead and click on Star Seller. And then we're going to go up in the search here and we're going to change star to best. And this is going to bring up some of the best sellers and popular nows. I'm also going to show filters and I'm going to go ahead and do physical items only. So we're going to go to item format and click on physical items. And now it's going to show me all of the actual t-shirts that aren't, digital downloads. Then I'm just going to scroll through and try to find items that say Mama and Christmas on it, or they're just a Mama Christmas design. And you know what? I'm actually not really seeing any pop up yet just because we're not in the peak season to where the best sellers are going to be best sellers. So if it's a seasonal item like this, you might want to just keep the star. So I'm actually going to change this back just to star. We might have better results that way. Yeah. So what we'd be looking for is popular now, or we would be looking for any bestsellers from last year that we can find. When we click in the listing, some really good signs are if it says 20 plus in the carts, or if it says in demand, it'll say in red, in demand, like 2 or however many people have bought it in the last 24 hours. That is definitely a good sign that we want to pull from their title. So we're going to go ahead and copy their title. And I'm just going to bring it over into a Google Docs and we're just going to paste. You can title it, SEO for whatever category you're doing or whatever niche you're doing. And basically we're going to do this same process about 5 or 10 times. You want to probably find about 5 shirts that fill those requirements. They're a bestseller, they say popular now, 20 plus in the carts, and you're just going to copy and paste their titles. One more thing I wanted to mention, when you are clicking into someone's listing, try not to click on any listings that say add by whatever seller. So like this one right here says add by. Just make sure that you're not clicking on any that say ad, because then you're going to be spending their ad budget when you're not purchasing, and I wouldn't want anyone doing that to my listing, so it's just common courtesy. Usually if you scroll down a little bit further, you'll find their same listing without the ad, so you can still pull from their title. Okay, so I found 5 Christmas Mama shirts and I went ahead and copied and pasted all of their titles. One thing that I thought was really interesting that I found in common is most of these did use up most of the 140 characters. Now I know Etsy has a new guidelines, so it's just guidelines, saying that they want our titles to be shorter, clear, and more concise so that it's not as confusing for buyers. But a few of these listings that I pulled from were only about a month or 2 old, and they are still doing it seems like the older method, and they're doing well. So that's a good sign that the older method still works, but it wouldn't hurt to try the new method. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Okay, now that I copy and pasted my 5 different titles over, I'm going to go ahead and type something underneath it that I can reuse every time that I'm doing my SEO, because I'm going to use AI to help create my title for me. So this is what I came up with. You can change it to what works best for you. This seems to work pretty well for me. I've had to make some tweaks and stuff like that, but for the most part, this works well. I said, please take the most common key phrases from these 5 titles and come up with a brand new title for my Etsy listing using up to 140 characters, including commas separating the keywords and phrases. Also, please put the most relevant keywords and phrases at the beginning of my title. Please base it off of this shirt design that I am selling and take out any keywords and phrases that do not match my design. So if you already have a mock-up of your design, you can include a photo with this when you're asking the AI to come up with your title. So in my case, I just came up with this. I know this is a super popular design. It's something that you can just grab off of Creative Fabrica. Do not use this design. There are so many people that are just slapping it on a shirt. One, that's against Etsy's policies. And 2, there's already so many out there that you are not going to stand out. Your design is going to get buried in the search results because people who already have this design and it's selling well, they're going to show up on the first pages. So do not use this design. This is just an example. Come up with a brand new design that's going to stand out in the market. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and download this, and then I'm going to copy and paste it into Gemini. So I'm going to go ahead and copy all of this, and then I'm going to paste it into Gemini. Okay, I went ahead and pasted it in Gemini. I also use ChatGPT. You can use any AI that you think is going to work well for this, but we're going to go ahead and, actually, we're not going to submit it yet. We're going to add the file. Okay, now that we've added our file, we've added our key phrases and everything, we're going to click submit and see what it comes up with. All right, so this is what it came up with. It says, here's a new Etsy listing title based on the most common and relevant key phrases staying under the 140 character limit. We have Comfort Colors Christmas Mama shirt. And of course, this is assuming that we are selling a Comfort Colors shirt. You would take Comfort Colors off if you are selling, like, say, the Bella and Canvas. One thing that I did notice that was really in common with all of these shirts is they actually did include Comfort Colors either in the very first phrase or somewhere in their title. Now, you can try both. I think that it's not 100% necessary to put it at the very beginning, but at least mentioning it might be a good strategy because all of the bestsellers that are selling Comfort Colors did at least mention Comfort Colors somewhere in their title. Now, remember, the first part of your title is going to be the most important part because that's what they're going to show first when people are searching for your items. So you want it to be the most relevant and make the most sense for your shirt. So we have Comfort Colors Christmas Mama shirt, Merry Mama tee, retro holiday gift for mom, Xmas pregnancy announcement, and women's festive t-shirt. The only ones that I was unsure about were these last 2. They're a little more broad, but if you go back and examine all of the bestsellers, some of them do hit that more broad niche so that they bring in more views. So that could be a good strategy. But you definitely want to make sure that the first few are very targeted and really make sense to what you're selling. So this even came up with, it's really cool. It says a breakdown of key phrases used. Comfort Colors Christmas Mama shirt. This is the most essential high relevance phrase as it includes the brand, holiday, and recipient. Merry Mama tee, a variation of Mama and Christmas holiday. This also describes the style in tee. Retro holiday gift for mom. This design has a slightly retro distressed look, and this covers the gifting a recipient aspect. I use holiday to keep it general and inclusive. Xmas pregnancy announcement. This phrase was common and directly addresses a specific use case for your shirt's theme fits perfectly, and women's festive t-shirt, a final general descriptor to catch broader searches for women's holiday clothing. And it also tells us I removed phrases that didn't make sense for the design, such as checkered, mama, Christmas tree, or Mama Claus. So I think it did a pretty great job. I would feel comfortable using this for my title, but you can always ask it to, say you don't want comfort colors at the very front. Be like, rearrange it and have comfort colors somewhere in there, but not as the most important thing. Or you could say, I want even more niche specific, and it will just keep spitting out ones until you feel like it makes sense for your shirt. But again, remember when doing titles, we want to base this off of bestsellers, popular now, and what is working on Etsy. You want the research to come from something that is already proven, and if some of these more general stuff works at the end of their titles, and a bunch of people are doing it and they have 20 plus in the carts, then I think it's worth trying as well. Okay, let's talk about the new guidelines that Etsy released about a month ago. Actually, I think it's been longer than that. This says it was September 2nd, 2025. So, yeah, it was more than a month ago. But we want to read through it really quickly so we understand what they're trying to do and if we want to implement this in our shops. You can find this page under the seller's handbook, and it'll be under new guidance for listing titles and a tool to help. I will also link this in the description if you want to read over it yourself, but I'm just going to go over a few things I think are important. So Etsy is saying why clear titles matter. Buyers tell us that clear and easy to scan titles help them feel more confident when browsing and choosing what to buy, whereas long and hard to read titles make it more difficult for buyers to shop confidently. They're also saying that they're focusing on a more holistic view of the listing. So basically, they're saying, from what I'm reading, is that the title isn't extremely important. It's not everything that is going to help sell your item. But they are saying you can focus on clarity and relevance in your listing titles while moving other key details to listing tags, descriptions, and attributes. So if we're making our titles shorter, they're saying that our listings will still get seen if we put it in the tag section or in our description. We can put some keywords and stuff like that there. They just want the title to look more clear to the buyer what they're actually receiving. Then they say, what makes a great listing title? Clearly state the item for sale, like mug or dress. Include the most important traits up front, like the item's color, material, and size. Streamline for clarity and scannability. Consider using less than 15 words when including the traits that make your item special. Only include holidays, special occasions, or recipient types if they are essential to what the item is, like birthday candle or Halloween costume. Move subject words like perfect or beautiful to the description. Move subject words like beautiful to the description. Okay, to the description. So we wouldn't even put that in our title. Try not to repeat words. Don't worry about adding info about price, shipping, or sales. We already knew that. And then if you scroll down, they have a new guidance here. So it gives you a whole little table. You can kind of look over that yourself. They give some examples. So here they give an example of the old title. It looks like it's 140 characters where it's separated by either commas or, just separated. And then the new title. So it is much shorter. They do have a new AI tool that is built in the listing, and they have a video on it right here. It's a really quick video to show you how to use it. So going back to the title that the AI came up with, we're going to you have two options. You can either copy and paste this into your listing and then use their AI to change it for you, and it'll just shorten it for you. I do recommend approving that first and making sure that the keywords really make sense for your product. Or you can just take the first couple of really important key phrases and just use those. So just shorten the title. And then any of these other ones, I would maybe try using in your tags or even using in your description. Now, if you're doing this for a brand new listing, I would A/B test. So what is A/B test? A/B testing is when you basically post one listing and then you duplicate that same listing and you only change one aspect about it. And in this case, it would be the title. So you would keep everything exactly the same, but you would just shorten your title and then post it again. So you would have a test A and a test B, and then you would just wait and see which one gets more views, more likes, more sales, more traction, and see which one works best. I highly recommend A/B testing in your shop. I've A/B tested a lot with, say, the cover photo. I've tested it with the SEO. I've tested it with the tags. I've also tested it with pricing to see if break-even pricing works or if just lowering your price works to get more sales. And so, yeah, I think A/B testing is a great way when you come across things like this. If you're not sure which one is going to work better, just A/B test it. One more important thing I want to go over with the new title system that Etsy is wanting us to try, I would only change it on listings that are not converting or not selling for you. That way, maybe it'll give them a boost by changing it so you can test those. But I would not touch any of my best sellers or even listings that are getting good traction. If they're getting a lot of views, a lot of likes, I would just leave them alone and not change anything on it because it really could be the title that is one of the main factors getting you those views and getting you that traction. So that is my advice. You can test this method in two ways. Either test it on old listings that are not doing well or on brand new listings. And if you're unsure about it, you can even A/B test and post one the old way and one the new way. Moving on to tags, there's a couple ways that I've done tags personally. If you have a better way, keep your system. This is just the system that I have always used and feel like it works. So we're going to do the same thing as we did for the title. We're going to type in the product that we're selling and we're going to find shirts that say either bestseller, popular now, or even sometimes if they're on the first page, that could be a good indicator that they are starting to trend upward. And you basically want to do the same process where you choose about 5 different shirts that make sense for your niche and your product, and we're going to pull from their tags. Now, I am using EverBee and I have the paid version, so it's a Chrome extension and it helps you analyze things on Etsy and it really helps with a lot of market research. I highly recommend it, but you don't necessarily need it. I am going to show you another tool that is free that you can use to find your tags. But if you do have EverBee, this is how I've used it and I think it works great. So you're going to click on Analyze Listing. And what's great about this is it'll tell you how many months old it is, how many sales and revenue. It shows you all the details here. So this is only a month old and it's showing 0 monthly sales, but it is showing that there's 20 plus in the carts. So that's a really good sign that this is going to become a bestseller. So we're going to go ahead and pull from their tags. So when you scroll down, it'll show you all of the tags that they used in their listing. And it's super easy because you just click this button right here and it'll copy all of their tags. And then it's super easy because then you can create a tag section in your Google Docs and copy and paste it into here. And you would do this for about 5 shirts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, now that I've copied and pasted 5 of the top bestsellers or popular now tags, I'm going to go ahead and copy them. And I also created a description down here. And then I'm going to copy it. And I pasted that into Google Gemini. We're going to go ahead and add that design again. Okay, so I added the file of our mock-up of what we're selling, and I also said, please take these 5 set of 13 tags and create a new set of 13 tags using the most common and relevant keywords. Please base it off of this shirt design that I am selling and take out any keywords and phrases that do not match my design. Also, make sure that the keywords are not longer than the limit required on Etsy. We'll go ahead and submit. Okay, this is what it came up with. Here are 13 tags, and then all you would have to do is copy and paste them into your tags section. I would review them really quick to make sure they made sense for your product. If you're unhappy with some of them, just ask Gemini, like, hey, this keyword doesn't match my product. Can you please take that one out and find something that makes more sense based off of the bestseller? Something like that. You can always have it spit out something new to make sure you like it. But after reviewing this, I'm pretty happy with this list, so I would feel comfortable listing these as my tags. Okay, so there is another free tool. It's called Alura. I'll leave the link down below so that you can access their website. All I had to do was sign in with an email, but I have never had to pay. I just use the free version, and the free version always works for me. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to research, and I'm going to go to keyword. So now all we're going to do is we're going to type in the main title of what we're selling. So we're going to put Christmas Mama shirt, and that'll be enough. Click enter. And then what it's going to do is it's going to pull up some analytics from Etsy, and it's going to show you which keywords are trending, and it'll tell you the competition, the search volume. Now, a lot of people say you want higher search volume, lower competition if you can. But I have found that literally just using the most popular keywords have worked for me. I have never done the method of lower competition and higher search. But if you want to do that, you can and kind of pick through these. But all you really have to do is click on 13 of them that match your product. Let's see. This is just an example. I wouldn't do sweatshirt if you're not selling a sweatshirt, but go through them, make sure that they work and they match your product. And then all you would do, let me move myself, is you would just copy, and then it copies all 13 for you, and then you can just paste them into your Etsy listing. It's super fast and easy, and it's free. So yeah, that is my other way that I have used, but since I have EverBee, I like doing a little bit more in-depth way because I take it from the bestsellers that match my design, and I basically take all of their tags and then combine it like I just showed you. But if you don't have the paid version of EverBee, this is still a great way to still use analytics and to do your research and still have tags that make sense. So hopefully this helps. I hope you really enjoyed this video and you feel much more confident creating good SEO to convert your listings to bestsellers. I want you to go take action on it right now. Go create a listing, try out these techniques that you have learned in this video, or even fix some of your titles to the new way that Etsy is recommending, only on listings that are not doing well, not converting well already. As we talked about earlier, you want to make sure you're not changing any of the SEO in listings that are already selling well, because the algorithm has already picked it up and there's a reason it's doing well. You don't want to touch it or change anything. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate you liking and subscribing. That way I know that I'm making good content that is helpful for you. Go ahead and mention anything in the comments that you need help with, or if you're just enjoying this type of content so I can keep making stuff like this for you. Now it's time for our weekly wins. Every week in my videos, we do weekly wins, and I think this is so important to celebrate the wins throughout your week. We tend to focus a lot on the negative, and our brains have a hard time focusing on the positive. Even if it's something small, we should be celebrating it. My weekly win is I got a sale on something that I created a couple weeks ago that I just wasn't sure if it was going to sell. And I was kind of wondering the whole time if I should post it and if I was wasting my time. Even though I know how to design at this point, I still have moments like that where I'm just not sure if it's going to be good enough, and I doubt myself. Everybody doubts themselves. But to have someone purchase something that you were doubting yourself on and weren't even thinking about listing is a win. I was so excited. I told my husband, I was like, oh my gosh, remember me telling you that I was making these designs and I just didn't feel confident in them and felt like I was wasting my time? Well, guess what? Someone just bought it today. So that was such a big win for me. And yeah, you just need to celebrate things like that. It might seem small, but it actually is a big win. So go ahead and drop your weekly wins down in the comments. Celebrate something that you did well this week and that you are proud of. I hope you all are having a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys!